So I was out of town when the Trump assassination attempt happened, and my phone just blew up in my pocket with people messaging me and calling me to say, "Hey, turn it on quick. Look at what's happening." And the minute that I saw Trump standing up, pumping his fist, I said out loud, "Well, there's his next T-shirt. There is his next piece of merch." You would think, though, that the grift would stop at political violence. You would think that someone might just try to set that one out and not try to cash in off political violence, considering a man lost his life standing directly behind Trump trying to defend his family. You would think Trump would have one shred of decency, but there's none to be found, folks. He is now grifting off of political violence by selling not a shirt. I thought it would be a shirt. I thought it might be a plaque that Mama would hang on her wall, but nope. It's sneakers. He's back to sneakers, and somehow he has decided to put this on a tennis shoe. Folks, look at this. Introducing the Fight, Fight, Fight high tops. On July 13th, 2024, an assassination attempt was made on President Trump at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. Despite the attack, Trump stood tall and resilient, leading the crowd with the powerful chant, "Fight, fight, fight." Yeah, they're never going to turn the temperature down in the room, folks. They can't afford to because that's all their crowd knows. It's so sickening to me to watch the mainstream media pick apart Joe Biden over his bullseye comment that he made to private donors. They want to pick him apart over that and say, "Hey, don't you think you need to tone down the rhetoric because you're calling this guy a dictator and you're saying this guy, wants to do away with democracy. He's the biggest threat to democracy." Folks, we have brought the receipts every time to show Donald Trump talking about how he wants to be dictator on day one. We've shown the receipts showing how he said he would do away with the Constitution anytime he wanted to. And we've also been reading Project 2025 and studying up on it. So when we call these things out, again, I know I keep saying this over and over again, but it bears repeating. That's not calling for political violence. That's calling something out for what it is. But getting back to these sneakers, there's only going to be 5,000 of them printed. They're $299 a pair. Customers are only limited. You can only have 3 at a time, folks. You can only order 3, and 10 of them will be personally autographed by Trump himself. He will. So you have a chance to get his autograph on a pair of those sneakers. He found a way to cash in on a horrific day, something that should have never happened, something that should never be the answer in politics ever. He found a way to cash in on it. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist either, folks. I'm not, because what I say to the people who says to me that this whole thing was staged, you have to bring the proof. You have to bring the evidence. Otherwise, you're just like them. So I'm not saying that it was a staged event. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I definitely think that when Trump was down for that minute and 4 seconds, he was saying to himself, "Oh man, I can cash in on this," because when he stands up, notice how he says, "Wait, wait, wait," so he can get his photo op. Take a look. So yeah, he definitely capitalized on the moment. He recognized a grift, and if there's one thing the guy's good at, it's recognizing where he can make a buck and recognizing when he can grift people out of something. And it's crazy to me that he couldn't even stop the grift at political violence. A man lost his life standing behind him trying to defend his family, and he didn't reach out to that man's family until 4 days later. President Biden reached out before Trump did. Trump went golfing the next day and then comes out and puts this ridiculous bandage on his ear at the RNC, and now comes out with these sneakers. And if you think that bandage was bad enough, I want you to take a look at this clip of his followers putting bandages on their ears in solidarity with Trump. Tell me this ain't weird.
We're helping President Trump set a new fashion statement, and we're standing in solidarity with him for his wound, and we just want him to know how much we love him.
Said the withdrawal from Afghanistan was an extraordinary success.
I believe in America.
What I got going on here is a patch over my right ear, as Donald Trump wears one. We do it in solidarity with our President Trump because we love him, we support him 100%, and we wish him well.
So yeah, it's definitely a cult, folks. I don't feel bad for saying it. No one should feel bad for calling it for what it is. And to the mainstream media out there who says we need to turn the temperature down, no, what I think they need to do is they need to ask the tough questions to Trump and his followers instead of pinning Joe Biden down over the bullseye comment. How about you bring Trump on and say to him, don't you think that was tasteless to capitalize off political violence? Don't you think it's a little bit weird that your followers would all put bandages on their ear? Don't you think it's a little bit weird that your followers would go out and wear diapers to your events and come up with flags that says real men wear diapers? Don't you think it's weird that you're the ones that came up with flags that said fuck your feelings? You want to talk about turning the temperature down in the room, folks? They're the ones that crank the temperature up. And that's not spreading fear and hyperbole. It's just pointing out the obvious. The guy grifted off political violence. Now, I want to say something about the people in my part of the world, because I'll be honest with you, I have never saw a pair of those Trump sneakers anywhere around where I live. And I live in a very red part of East Tennessee. I joke and tell people that I am in the buckle of the Bible Belt. I've never saw anyone wearing a pair of those around here. You want to know why? Because they can't afford them. Because they can't afford to pay $300 for a pair of sneakers. They do the best they can with what they got. And what I don't understand is why this doesn't offend them deeply. How can you throw your support behind a grifter who would grift off of everything, who would grift off of his mugshot, who would grift off of an assassination attempt, and who would ask you for your money? Everybody I hear in this part of the world is arguing about the price of everything, how expensive things is at the grocery store. And I agree with you. It's outrageous. They talk about inflation being high. They talk about gas prices. They always talk about their 401k and their wallet. But they'll sit back and let this go. They'll sit back and let this guy get up there and sell sneakers for $300 and never call it out. I mean, I've never even heard one of them say, you know what, I wish you'd bring the prices down on those because I'd like to have a pair and I'd like to contribute, but I can't afford those. They won't even say it. They'll just sit back and share that stuff and think it's cool, and they themselves can't afford it. And it makes absolutely no sense to me how that this guy got people in Appalachia in this part of the world to buy into the fact that he cares about them. And now he's got a fake Appalachian running along beside of him, and that's convinced them that he's from here too. The grift is never going to stop, folks. Anytime you see an event happen, just know Trump is sitting back thinking, how can I grift off this? I can't remember if I read this or heard it in an interview, but I heard Gene Simmons from the band Kiss one time say that he one time said that if an item was big enough to have a Kiss logo on it, then it should have a Kiss logo on it. So that's why you saw, Kiss shirts, Kiss hats, Kiss cigarette lighters, Kiss Zippos, there's Kiss cell phone covers. Hell, they even make Kiss caskets, And I think Trump just has that same logic. Well, how can we put a price tag on this? How can we fit my brand onto this? But to do it off of an assassination attempt, something that was a dark day for this country, no matter which side of the aisle you're on, something that was a terrible moment, a man lost his life. You turn that into a grift, you charge $300 a pair, and poor people that can't afford them aren't even offended by it. Yeah, we're not over it. We're the ones that's been trying to bring the temperature down for years. And I'm so sick of mainstream media going, both sides needs to examine themselves. We've been calling for them to examine themselves for years, and they keep cranking the temperature up with this type of rhetoric. When he got up off the ground and yelled, fight, 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 I went, there we go. Here we go. But no, don't bring him on your show and ask him about that moment. Ask Biden about the bullseye comment and just drill that into the ground. It's bullshit. And we're going to keep calling it out, folks. We're not going to stop. We're not going to stop pointing out the obvious when our democracy's on the line.